Big expensive started, ladies and gentlemen. All right, sorry about all of that right there, but Divine Ascension Ruby, they will be on the blue side here for game number 1. Legendary Wolves on the red side with that counter pick that is ever so important. But with the AD carries obviously being something to play around here, it'll be interesting to see what these teams are going to be picking up. But can't say I'm too surprised. The Olaf going to get banned away here from the side of Divine Ascension Ruby as the first one taken off the table. A pretty common ban that we've seen here so far in the mid league.
Yeah, we've seen Olaf banned now twice, and again, Olaf is a champion that gets to such an early lead just due to his kit and can really take over early game jungle and early game pathing. And so, with that dragon stacking being so evident, Olaf is a champion that can stack dragons really easily and can really assist his bot side in getting a lead. Misfortune being banned out, who is again, I would say, is probably around an A tier AD carry. Ooh, that's what I'm surprised about, the Anivia ban. I think that Anivia right now is really strong. I'm a big proponent that control mages similar to Anivia and Victor can really take over games just due to all the AD carries I mentioned actually are very short range. And so with a champion like Anivia that's able to control so much space, she can really do damage to these bot lane comps. And so I'm happy to see the Divine Ascension Ruby taking that champion out.
Yeah, absolutely. Anivia there, the one of the comfort picks for Skiz in the mid lane. Another couple ones on that list would be Yone and Rise. So I don't know. We'll have to see if they do kind of continue maybe along that. But Seraphine Band does come through, so they are just looking to probably take a few of these power picks, comfort picks away from the legendary Wolves. And yeah, Hecarim gonna get the hover here for the last ban before we go on into our first round of picks. And Divine Ascension Ruby here, going to go on up. Going to be curious to see how they want to really approach this draft. There's not really a whole lot of bad places that you can start in the draft right now with the meta, with so many different things being strong, with the obviously the item reworks and things that have happened as Riot kind of continues to balance throughout the game here. But Divine Ascension Ruby going to be hovering over that Maokai, a very strong tank pick, going to get locked in here. And that will most likely be going up towards the top lane. We can't expect maybe that to be Gerald Yode, I believe, is the top lane there for Divine Ascension Ruby.
I do think it could be flexed down to that bot lane. We have seen a lot of Maokai support, especially abusing the I'm blanking on the name, but the AP support item to really do a lot of damage. So maybe Divine Ascension Ruby trying to pick a little bit more of a damage-heavy bot lane. Kai'Sa and Jhin being hovered. Kai'Sa gets locked in. Again, there's a lot of strong AD carries open. Jhin, Kai'Sa, Samira, Aphelios. So nothing surprising that Legendary Wolves take such a dominant AD carry in the meta like Kai'Sa. I do want to see if they round out their bot lane right here, knowing that they most likely are facing against a Maokai support. I have seen a decent amount of Maokai top, maybe some Maokai jungle as well. But there are champs that are strong right now, they take the Kai'Sa Nami. That tells me, and we talked about this, Legendary Wolves are going to be playing around that bot lane. When you pick a champion like Nami with Kai'Sa, that means that you want to get your bot lane ahead. You want to start stacking up kills onto the Kai'Sa so she can kind of snowball in, because once Kai'Sa hits that 180 and 100 attack speed mark, she becomes a brutal, honestly an assassin to fight just due to the new build of Gale Force plus Executioners. Tristana getting locked in here. Haven't seen it much in the meta, but is a strong pick, especially with the Halo Blades cheese.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of an interesting pick and something that we don't see too often right now, with Jhin and Kai'Sa really kind of dominating that meta right now. But still, nonetheless, does provide a bit of mobility here for the AD carry of Divine Ascension Ruby, and that could be something that could be useful when you do have this Kai'Sa that might want to run you down. But oh, there we go. There we have it. The Pantheon gonna get locked in, and this can be interesting. So
that's
Pantheon. Yep, Pantheon has been played in the jungle over in the LPL. So this is kind of a weird three-way flex where you have the Maokai that could possibly going up towards the top or the bottom position, or the Pantheon going down towards support or jungle. So you're covering those three roles here, which really kind of leaves it up in the air for Legendary Wolves here as they go into the next two bans. I think here you're safe to ban mid laners. Granted, we could always get a surprise and see Pantheon played mid as well, but we'll have to wait and see here. But I think that I really do like how Divine Ascension Ruby is kind of approaching this draft intellectually. They are kind of leaving their options open here. We do see the Galio that's going to get banned away, so they're going to remove some of that mid roaming power that might be able to come out if that kind of pick does get locked in. And another kind of champion that comes to mind as well is the Twisted Fate up towards the mid lane. If that is kind of what their goal is, if they are expecting the Maokai or the Pantheon to play towards the support side, and if that was a Galio ban directed towards the mid lane, if they want to prevent those global ultimates from coming through, I would not be surprised to maybe see like a TF ban if that is something that we might be able to see from Skiz here.
And I like what Divine Ascension and Ruby are doing right now, especially on the blue side when you don't have that counter pick.
Mhm.
Having a lot of these flex picks can really help out the draft because, again, Legendary Wolves really don't know where any of these champions are going besides Tristan at the 80k position. So it makes it really easy to draft as well because you can throw off the enemy team to kind of just throwing out useless bans. Because right now, I would expect it to be the Tristana Pantheon support. I know we have seen Pantheon in the jungle, but
Mhm.
I would love to see that Tristana Pantheon bot lane because that is
Yeah.
such a heavy kill bot lane. If Pantheon jumps onto you, Tristana can jump in and get the Halo Blades 3 autos with her bomb, and she will blow up any support or ADK that runs her way. We do see it round out with the Kennen and the Wukong bans, a decent
Mhm.
amount of top lane bans as well. Wukong is very strong in the meta, but again, the the trusted and true Ornn getting locked in, and here we go.
Tanks slapping each other in the face until they're
Thanks.
blue. But the Rise ban, yeah, that was something that we kind of maybe did skip over. Another targeted ban there towards Skiz here. So, two of his most played currently right now, at least within season 11, going to get banned away here by Divine Ascension Ruby. And they're going to be able to lock in another couple picks here. Mordekaiser, that tells me top lane, baby, top lane. We are getting really, really spicy here. I called it. I'm really, really curious. I really want to see where this Pantheon Maokai is going. At this point, I would be safe to say that the Maokai is being played towards the bottom side, possibly, because the Pantheon does have that flex towards the jungle here. And we are going to get Zoe in the mid lane. I do believe, I'm going to go out here on a whim and say we are seeing from top to bottom Mordekaiser, Pantheon, Zoe, Tristana, Maokai to round out this composition.
I would agree. I mean, Maokai's jungle has been played, but it's not something that gets played pretty. I mean, Maokai jungle has been played, but it's not something that gets played pretty often. Syndra gets locked in for Legendary Wolves, and they round out a pretty standard team comp. But again, going back to the
Mm-hmm.
blue side, this is an interesting hodgepodge of a comp because again, it gave them a lot of flex in the draft, and Maokai support is strong. I would have honestly liked to see the Tristana Pantheon to kind of crush out the Kaisa Nami, but
Mm-hmm.
again, a lot of these lanes do have a lot of strong picks. We don't see either side have. There's not going to be that much weak side top lane due to the power of Ornn being able to match up so well into the Mordekaiser being able to build the early MR. And the big thing that I do see is that Legendary Wolves do have, I would say they have a lower damage comp than Divine Ascension Ruby. Divine Ascension Ruby has a lot of damage from a lot of different places, but Legendary Wolves is really going to be focusing around that Kaisa and Syndra, and we're going to have to see how it shakes out in these team fights.
Yeah, absolutely. I do just want to make a quick note here from a Legendary Wolves team composition. You are looking for that, carry within the Kaisa and the Syndra, but the Skarner, right? Here's why I really, 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 really like Divine Ascension Ruby's draft here. And this is probably why I'm going to go with this team in my prediction here to take game one based upon this draft. The Skarner wants to be able to go in there and grab someone and pull them into death. You've got this Maokai who's a pretty big, tanky boy. He's not exactly going to be the easiest target to take down in the early game. Pantheon's going to be able to jump in and stun whoever is right there. And Mordekaiser, he's the key piece to this right here. You have this Skarner that wants to run right at you, right? Then Mordekaiser, all he has to do is sit there and press R. So one of the big engage tools that you have from this legendary Wolf squad, aside from the Call of the Forge God that will come from Ornn or the long-range Scatter the Weeks coming out from the Syndra, is that Skarner. But who is he really going to be picking off here? I mean, he grabs the Mordekaiser in any instance if Mordekaiser is not able to get the ultimate off, and he brings it right to the Kaisa, or he brings it right to the Nami, or right to the Syndra, exactly where he wants to be on top of these champions. So it's going to be interesting to see how the jungler from Legendary Wolves kind of uses that ultimate with the Skarner.
No, I 100% agree. There's a lot of things. Again, I play Skarner a lot, and so there's a lot of things in on the Divine Ascension Ruby comp that really stopped the Skarner from ever approaching. And maybe there's a way that Legendary Wolves can try to turn this game into more of a, instead of a full 5v5, turn it into more of like a pick skirmishy heavy, because that's where Skarner really excels, where he can try to get those 2v2s, those 2v3s, where he can try to pick off people. But in terms of a straight 5v5, Maokai can stop Skarner. Mordekaiser, you already said, can ulti Skarner. Skarner running straight into a Zoe is just death, because Zoe will put you to sleep and you'll get absolutely bursted by everybody on Divine Ascension Ruby. So I do agree that the Skarner maybe might not be the greatest pickup here. I do think that there could be, especially if this game kind of devolves into a more skirmishy style comp, Skarner or Ornn do a lot of work, because Ornn can, with that Call of the Forge God, it kind of separates out a lot of team members, because you're either getting knocked up by Ornn ulti, and during that time where that uh, Ornn is flying, Skarner is able to kind of run in at that point, pick someone off, and kind of drag him while the rest of your team kind of has to back away due to the Ornn ulti. So I do like the pairing of Skarner Ornn. I do have to say, again, damage profile wise, I like Divine Ascension Ruby a lot more. They have a lot more damage from a lot of different sources, but their comp does
Mhm.
rely a little bit on getting ahead early, because as the later game goes, I do like the standard comp of Legendary Wolves a little bit more.
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see how this one does play out. I do want to see, as you said, Divine Ascension Ruby to play to the early game. Get that Mordekaiser ahead. He can be absolutely terrifying in these late to mid game team fights. If he's able to get the ball rolling, uh, I love the champion. I love the champion. Absolutely one of my favorite champions to play, first of all. So I'm very, very excited to see it here in this first game between Divine Ascension Ruby and the Legendary Wolves. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and throw it on over to a intermission as we get ready to have Cowboy Casts and Mac Dewey come back to the desk to bring you out onto Summoner's Rift. Do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Excellency Midweight League. We'll catch you right after the break, and do not change that browser.
Welcome back, ladies, men, and monsters. Welcome to the second set for tonight. This is going to be our third game out of 4, and today or not today, I guess, the teams we are currently watching we have Divine Ascension Ruby on the blue side of the map, and we have Legendary Wolves on the red side. So, what are you expecting coming into this game, Mac?
Well, really excited to see Divine Ascension Ruby back in action. The redemption season continues to begin here. Week 1 mid-league. For those that don't know kind of the overall flow of how the league is organized now, because we did switch it up from the last season, season number 1. Each team is going to play 2 sets of 2 per night. So Divine Ascension Ruby, Legendary Wolves should already be nice and warmed up for us coming in to their second set of the night. We don't know, unfortunately, how those sets turned out. Hopefully we'll be able to get that to you later on tonight. We'll give you guys a quick recap. But for now, we are dealing with this matchup here. Divine Ascension Ruby, here, Season 1, finish 3rd place. They get out in the first round of playoffs. They're wanting to turn that around and have themselves a better season. They're bringing back to their lineup Silly Goose, Tay, and JDK. I'm excited to see them play here. Mr. McGumfrey's a new addition to the team, a support who is very seasoned on this Maokai. Long before it was mainstream, you could see Mr. McGumfrey's playing Maokai's support on the Rift. So I'm excited to see how he performs on this Comfort Champ. I'm a little surprised to see, based on how strong it currently is in the meta, to see it actually get through the draft phase. There's a reason they first picked it, and my expectations are through the roof for him in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Well, if I know one thing about this game is that if the Legendary Wolves lose, then so does my honor and pride. I will never hear the end of it from Idea. So, hoping that I, don't lose, everything.
Everything. Everything. Just everything.
It's like gambling, but worse. League of Legends, which is already worse than gambling, I guess. No, I'm kidding.
People spend a lot of time in queue waiting. I don't know. Gambling might give you a bigger profit, but leave that. When you get that peta, man, you try and replace that feeling. I don't think you can. In this matchup here,
go, buddy.
Silly Goose is low-key a penta machine, but we got a gank here.
JDK gank in the middle lane. Look at how low Skiz is. The Ignite's not quite gonna pick him off, but that is the flash out of an immobile mage, which means that JDK is going to have an absolute joyride in this mid lane.
Oh yes, easy repeat gank for the Pantheon, but we got something in bot.
Oh, so we do. Look at that damage. The heal
Jump
coming
in.
out. Oh, Silly Goose is hungry. Fitz Chivalry trying to get
Here
the chase.
Peekaboo.
It does look like Peekaboo is going to pick it up. Indeed, he is. Silly Goose getting a little too aggressive. The 1-for-1. Do you think that was worth it?
I think for the mental, yeah. Silly Goose with the power play. With the power play going under turret, you can't escape. And look at that. He's able to get the dagger. That's ADC diff right there. Lo and behold, that play, kind of low impact, but it is interesting. Peekaboo gets that kill experience on the Skarner, which is so helpful because he wants to get to his ultimate as quickly as possible. Now, with a small CS lead, experience lead over the Pantheon, he's got to be feeling good, and we'll have to keep a close watch on the Legendary Wolves jungler as he gets closer to that point, if he's able to get a solid gank off.
Yeah, absolutely. So, we do see that both of our junglers here have conquered, which isn't surprising. But I feel like Pantheon and Skarner, if Skarner has a Spire, it's just gonna be a huge back and forth. Like, nobody's gonna know what's going on.
Right, yeah.
What's happening anymore, man?
We almost get a duel between the junglers. Peekaboo has complete knowledge, but he might not know McGumfrey's is roaming with the jungler. Really well done there. Is kind of talking in the Divine Ascension Ruby. These were one of my teams Cowboy, so I may be slightly biased towards them, but I'm really excited to see how they perform in this new season. It is notable they kind of started off on the wrong foot yesterday in the testing grounds. They got smashed by Meme City Esports. It was a bloodbath for them. So I'm happy to see them bouncing back, at least staying aggressive, not being afraid to pull the trigger on plays they know they can make. And moving forward, I think they got a lot of comfort. Jay, kind of out of his area, new to the Pantheon, I think, not a common pick from him. I'm excited to see if he's able to show up here. But we do have a dragon getting taken. Directed cam. We don't care about the pool noodle fight. Get us to the objective.
Exactly, directed camera. What are you doing, man? All right. We do have the legendary wolves taking this first dragon. We are not going to see a mountain or a cloud drake. How does that make you feel, Mac?
Kind of interesting. If legendary wolves, they can keep this dragon pressure going for them, if they can keep the advantage onto Peekaboo, they have a pretty solid dragon taking team, especially if they're able to get that shrine online and just melt things. What it does mean is that comparatively to the last game, if we do see a soul get completed early, that's absolutely going to lead to a quick victory. Either Infernal or Ocean Soul is what most teams hope for loading onto the Rift. And right now, Legendary Wolves starting their foot, following the right path, hunting as a pack, able to pick up that first objective. Now we'll have to see the jungler's going to meet around the Scuttle is secured by Jay. 2v2 potential in the top lane. Skiz still doesn't have his flash, but it's for a short time. Actually, no regank. Would have liked to see that, as you were thinking, Cowboy, from the Pantheon, who had his flash. Tay, no Impale to worry about. Peekaboo just walking in lane. Jay's coming.
Oh, this 2v1 could easily become a 2v2, and that is what's going to happen. Skiz is going to be taken out by DK. Does not have the jump yet. Oh, he tried to do something cheeky there, but it didn't quite work. Peekaboo could barely make it out with his life. But that's Skiz taken out. He did not use his flash, though. So he still has that.
It was just the slimmest of timing. There was a pretty heavy CC lock, so I think even if he did flash, he would have done it a lot sooner there, and he didn't have any cooldowns. It was a tough situation for the Wolves mid laner to be placed in a perfectly timed gank from the Pantheon. That flash barely not on cooldown, so that when he saw the Pantheon, there was nowhere to go, and it was just too easy for Jade to walk in. Silly Goose doing a solid job, doing Tristana things, getting some early turret plating, shoving the lane, keeping this bot lane on lockdown. They have to be careful, though. We see Skiz already roaming down, and Peekaboo, he's got his ultimate available, Cowboy.
We do have the Impale, which is not only an incredibly vital ultimate,
here we go.
but also ridiculously fun. We do have the
Two
call
fights,
of
three fights.
What is happening? Oh my gosh. There's just too much going on. Epic fail guy taking a lot of damage. Get ult, Silly Goose. Haha, there you go. Heal. Something happened top lane, I guess. I don't know. That yeah, sure. Mid, I think they got Zoe flash. I think that's it. Did we do everything? Oh, they see him. Oh, they missed! Oh! Bits! Oh, the Imperil of the turret feels bad. That is the second time Silly Goose has died to Peekaboo for trying to tower dive Epic fail guy. I'd say that's an epic fail, but it's like the other team, so it's epic win for epic fail.
He's baiting them into the epic fails. That's actually that's how it works. A solid escape there from Tay. We didn't see it on the directed cam, but he was somehow, I think Peekaboo wanted to hold on to his Impale, and then Tay just got away too quickly. I don't think there were any cleanse shenanigans going on. He was just able to get a good flash over the wall. He might have gone close to the turret. I would have to look at a replay for that one. And on the top side of the map, the Death Realm, not enough to take down Eps's Ornn. He's able to walk away. We do see Jay sneakily has picked up the Rift Herald. We've got plenty of time left on the clock for him to get some much needed gold to extend this lead for Divine Ascension Ruby off a turret plating. We see Mr. Montgomery's already helping out get this jungle control. Epic Fail guy has got to be careful going into that area, especially when we see JDK, Flash available, Epic Fail guy. He can only go in with that killer instinct, and the shield is helpful, but you might not be able to survive that burst coming from the Pantheon.
I was gonna say something, but I like totally forgot. Oh yeah, if you look at the Zoe, the icon for Everfrost is different. But what's also different is that she's suddenly gone from alive to not. That's pretty funny. So Geralt Yode, not teleporting actually, he just walked. He pulled a Tryndamere and took the enemy red buff. Peekaboo in a little bit of trouble, forced to flash out. We do have Skiz behind them. Please don't tell me he's gonna get out.
Oh, there were pings! Oh, he missed it! Oh no!
Bad.
Wow,
Feels
what an escape there. Well played.
That was nice, but I do believe this dragon is going to the side of the rubies. They just have too much to contest, or too much contest. I don't know what the word for that is. They have too many people there. I'll just say that.
Good old-fashioned numbers advantage, Cowboy. At the end of the day, take out all the crazy new League of Legends champions. Just look at the numbers. When each team is looking for an objective, do they got the numbers advantage? Or when it's an even fight, I feel like that's really where the mechanics can get showed off, or maybe someone gets an outplay. Nevertheless, though, both of these teams going back and forth. Peekaboo, no flash available, but does have that ultimate online. It's tough to go to the top lane and try to look for something, so I think he's got to still try to look for Taze. Slippery Zoe, he's been doing a solid job avoiding the gank so far and dishing out a whole lot of poke. And the Tristana also is a hard target to try to focus, but I feel like if you're Peekaboo, you just got to try to look to play with the bot lane. I like this rotation coming out of Divine Ascension Ruby to move Silly Goose into the mid lane. You have this powerhouse in the Tristana that's just a machine with taking turrets, get her into another lane with some turret plating gold, look to pick up some more advantages, as we do see Fitz Chivalry moving over to the mid lane to make sure everything is just fine and dandy for Skiz's Syndra. Silly Goose going to be focusing that Scuttle Crab, taking his time. Only 90 seconds left to turret plane. We'll have to see Mr. Montgomery's ultimate available, and Skiz just doesn't want any part of it. He's going where he has vision. He's not going anywhere near that mid lane.
So, once again, the wet noodle fight top lane, although I guess it's less of a wet noodle fight, because that is a Mordekaiser. He's kind of a wet noodle, but he's like, not.
Yeah, right. Until he puts you into the death realm, and suddenly you're in murky waters, and it's a very different pool experience for Epps up there. He's like, wait a minute, I thought this was the kiddie section, and Gerald's like, oh, you thought wrong. Here we go. So that'll be interesting. Epps, though, doing a solid job just clearing the waves, doing Ornn things. He'll be just fine in terms of scaling and helping out the teams. Not a lot of top lane teleports to help out the rest of the map. They've mostly been stuck on their little private island resort,
Okay.
excuse me.
Wait. Okay, I don't know if anybody saw that, but if the camera saw it, please clip that. What happened is Skiz was taking the blue buff and then kited it away, auto-attacked the blast cone instead of the blue buff, and then Peekaboo's bombies took the blue from him.
Oh, goodness. Good memes. Always meme mid-league, guys. We've got good gameplay, totally, and in the best memes.
What's wrong with me? What's wrong with us?
I don't know. A lot of these lulls. I was honestly expecting the mid league to be a lot bloodier, but here we are at the 14.5-minute mark, and there's only been 6 kills in these games. Guys, what's happened to the old mid league where there are 20-minute victories, there's fighting non-stop, everyone's taking a chill pill for season 2, and now only Silly Goose, the ADC, is forced to step up and try to make things exciting for us.
Still, the first week, we've seen 4 teams. You can hold your horses, mister. I was gonna say something, but I still forgot. Oh, yeah. Only 6 kills in about 15 minutes here. That's not even half the amount of kills per time. And a little fun fact. Captain Flowers, the LCS shoutcaster.
Mhm.
He made this scale, and he called it the Captain Flowers Fiesta Index. And the rule states, if the amount of kills is equal or higher than the time in minutes, then the game is classified as a fiesta. And I feel
Absolutely.
like a lot more of these games should be fiestas than they are.
Oh,
but I'm not
Gerald's in a tough position here. He's gonna try to use the Death Realm.
He's gonna use the Shadow Realm to try to take out Peekaboo. He doesn't have a Spire, but Fitz Chivalry is there. This is a 3v1. This is not fair. This is not... Let him go. That's not fair. You can't do that. That's illegal.
Hey, there's the numbers advantage. Hey there, cowboy.
Yeah, it sure is. That... I think what I just saw was something really cool called a crime. Ultimates from Mordekaiser, but they get Rift Herald out of it, so that's cool, I guess. They still have the Nami Tidal Wave. The clever skill, also titled Tidal Wave, by the way.
Oh, look
very
at
well
that damage on the Epic Fail guy. Wow, Tay, just no mercy on that Zoe, and I gotta kind of critique this macro move. I think the second Rift Herald is not as strong as people think. I think Divine Ascension Ruby come out ahead overall in this exchange against the Legendary Wolves, because yes, potentially they're going to be able to get that turret plating gold, and Tay's maybe going to be able to pick up a kill. Wow!
I do not like that champion. That champion is not okay.
What
I
a
blinked
play
and
there.
Nami died.
Skills now.
He is in a little bit of trouble. Tay, we do have the ult from Maokai, the Nature Grasp, not quite gonna connect. Very close though, so you gotta give that to him. Two people trying to defend this mid turret. If I were them, I think I'd give it up. Because there's three people there, one of which can one-shot. One of which can one-shot you. You just got your 80 carry to tank something for you, so like 2/3 of their health is gone. Give up the turret, guys.
Teleport is available. It's going to be used here. Divine Ascension Ruby, they're going to get caught.
Epps is teleporting behind. He does not have Call the Forge God yet. It's very close. Ooh, that Maokai using that really nice unblockable, untargetable. That's it. My brain, by the way. It's so big. Silly Goose getting in there. Uh-oh. He's okay, he's not getting in there. He's out of there, actually. Gerald not able to do too much. This is a 4v1. Does not want to recreate what just happened in the top lane.
A big fight going the way of the Wolves. They catch Divine Ascension sleeping. Just absolutely cruising in the mid lane, not paying attention to where everyone is on the map. They get caught there. It was a beautiful teleport play there from Epps, and exactly what the Legendary Wolves needed to try to get back and even push for an advantage here against Divine Ascension Ruby. What I didn't like there from Ruby was that they were trying to siege without the Tristana. Where was Silly Goose there to try to help with the siege? You had the Zoe poke there, and I think if you paired that up with Silly Goose being with the team, that would have been a devastating combo, but unfortunately, I think he was in the side lane and then backed and everyone was in mid lane and he just wasn't there, wasn't ready, gets caught there, and actually gets taken down by, I think it was Skiz with a huge scatter the weak. Silly Goose got to be careful. Peekaboo ultimate available, no flash, and look at the turret there, Cowboy. A sliver of health, but still hanging on slowly but surely. I wonder how many more Divine Ascension Ruby lives it's going to take to pick up that turret.
This just in. Gem lives matter. I do think this game, Silly Goose is having a little bit of an identity crisis. I know he's a Tristana, but he's going a little bit too hard. We do have Peekaboo caught out here. Maybe not. The Tidal Wave is doing really good for him. Gonna save his life there, yeah. They will. Actually, no, there's 2 minutes left on the dragon. I thought it was a bit shorter than that. I take back what I said.
Really well done there, I think, from the Legendary Wolves to disengage that fight. I think they knew they didn't have a shot at winning that, especially with the Nature's Grasp coming in. The team communicated really well, and I think Jay could have pulled the trigger. Peekaboo looking for an ultimate. Jay's finding the stun.
He is indeed. Peekaboo wanted to go hard. That's the impale. He's gonna be pulled under turret. Goodbye, JDK. Oh, and goodbye, Skiz's health bar. Not drowsy. Somebody better take that. Oh, Skiz is a lucky man today, let me tell you.
Yeah, luckily for him, he was able to get the Scatter the Weak off, and Mr. Montgomery's not yet strong enough in terms of damage on the support Maokai just yet. The Saplings, they certainly hurt, but they're not at hyper power upgraded yet. They were in the bush, but Skiz, again, able to barely survive. And as we approach the 21-minute mark, it is the Legendary Wolves with a slight gold lead, but it is Dragon advantage for this side of Divine Ascension Ruby. I really want to see them prioritize this next objective, because not only Cowboy is getting on Soul Point super nice and puts you in a commanding position, especially when it comes to controlling macro, but 2 Infernal Drakes is absolutely massive at this point in the game. The damage we've already seen, Tay taking half health bars by the chunk. And now they're potentially going to give the Zoe a second Infernal Drake. Legendary Wolves, they're in a tough position. Peekaboo's trying to make a play.
They are. Tail gonna take JDK again. Oh my gosh, Tay! What is that damage? Yep, Zoe. A little bit stuck in the back line with Mr. Montgomery. Epic Fail Guy taking so much damage. Electrocute Lichbane Zoe. Oh my gosh, he has gotten the opportunity to farm. Silly Goose just hopping all over the place. He feels like he's a frog. Tom Kench moment. No, Tom Kench is a catfish, not a frog. What if they had a frog champion? Whatever. Either way, the Rubies definitely won that fight. And I'd just like to continue on to what you said back there. You're thinking about Infernal Soul on Zoe. Honestly, it's nice to have on Zoe, but I'm thinking about the Maokai. Getting that
Imperial Mandate is online, and it's scary because it's almost like every sapling, every bush, there's like a mini nuclear blast. In what Legendary Wolves need to do is Epps needs to start grouping with the team, I think, at this point, especially around objectives. Silly Goose gonna get caught in. Whoa!
Yep. That's AD carry.
A moment of silence was given for yet another ADC getting absolutely blown up for 1 second of misposition. Silly Goose, we will remember you. Tay, though, still healthy, still going to be dishing out a lot of damage. ADK somehow has fallen 2 levels down. I want to see more aggression come out of this Pantheon. He's got the Gore Drinker. He's got the ultimate that works really, really well with Nature's Grasp. But right now, Legendary Wolves grouped up in this mid lane. They want to siege Peekaboo.
Uh-oh. Peekaboo, here I am. I'm taking you Zoe, and I'm taking you Pantheon. See ya later, alligator. Now, Mr. Montgomery is forced.
Wow.
Mr. Montgomery is forced to try to hold this by himself. Of course he can't. Silly Goose is back into the fight. Are they gonna go for Baron?
We'll have to see.
They're going for Baron.
Silly Goose and Mr. Montgomery's are here. The Mordekaiser as well. It's a 3v5 here, Cowboy.
The Wolves are hungry, man. They are not going out without a fight. And with that, where'd he go?
Oh, Silly Goose is low now too. That wasn't a full pop.
If that was a full pop, that would have been crazy. Oh, the stun still hitting. Silly Goose falls. Epic Fail Guys on a rampage. That's going to be the upgraded Gale Force for Kaisa. That is going to be absolutely disgusting.
Well, the Wolves, I think what we've just seen here, Cowboy, is what you get for grouping up as a team against a Divine Ascension squad that is kind of taking bad fights, aren't positioning well, and granted, it's a tricky place to be, but Peekaboo, all he's done is been with the team, and there's been follow-up for when he's been going in, so really kudos for Legendary Wolves for some solid communication through the past couple minutes. They're really starting to take over. They may be down 2 Drakes, but they have the gold lead as we approach the 25-minute mark. Baron position there as well.
They're going for Baron again.
At least they're positioning around it at the moment. There is some vision. Tay, cautious, deservingly so. The Death Brush here. This looks like Fnatic.
I'm getting Fnatic flashbacks. Where have I seen that before? Anyways, we got a nice fight going on here. The tidal wave gonna hit too. Tay, half HP from one scatter of the week. The Rubies are gonna fall back. And are the Wolves gonna start the Baron? No, they're not. They just need to bait it. Skiz does so much damage.
And Skiz has been so on point with the scatter. The weeks, Jay, has to be careful.
Uh-oh. That's gonna be... Oh, the sleep gonna be saving his life. Never mind. No, he's not. Peekaboo's gonna fall. Jay's going to fall. There's no junglers for this fight.
Call of the Forge God still available. Legendary Wolves can't get poked out by the Zoe. Tay is the target.
Epps getting a little caught out. He's gonna walk into his entire team with the bomb. That's... I don't know how that makes me feel, actually. I wouldn't want him next to me in real life. That's the Call of the Forge God. That's gonna be the two-man knockup.
What a bubble.
Oh, look at that! Oh my gosh, Epic Fail Guy taking so much damage. He's not quite able to take out Droll. He's healing so much. Epps not gonna hit the Q. Mr. Montgomery not in a position to help Geralt.
He's gonna have these stats for 30 seconds. He's trying to make it work.
Trying to make it work. That's gonna be the scatter of the week. No stun though. The Nature's Grasp, is it gonna save him? It might. Oh, Epps!
Shield, big flash. Here's Montgomery's.
What? JDK is in the fight again. Fitz is going to be taken down. Skiz is going to be taken down, and Epps does so much damage because Ornn, he tried his best though. JDK, huge play. The fact that Garo lived there is like actually illegal. Oh, we do have a pause. Epic Fail Guy, disconnected.
A small opportunity here, Cowboy, to kind of process what we just saw, and I think that was the Maokai God support play coming up huge. Gerald, to his credit as well, doing a really solid job staying alive and avoiding a lot of the damage, but Mr. Montgomery's, could you ask for better peeling? I really think not, and he's able to buy enough time for JDK to have his big aggressive Pantheon moment right at the perfect moment to turn around that fight. The gold lead now even. Infernal Dragon about to spawn. Skiz and Fitz are dead. This could be a big turning point for Divine Ascension.
This absolutely could be. This is potentially Infernal Soul for the Rubies. That would be disgusting.
Only three members grouping up for Legendary Wolves. Here's the objective. They need to steal.
Ooh. Ornn is going to be using the W onto the Zoe sleep. The three-man knockup is really nice. Blue team has selected it, and that's going to be the Rubies with the soul for the spite. This is just so much damage coming out. Epps is just going to absolutely bonk Mr. Montgomery. He's going to be taken out as well. This is not looking good for the Wolves. Oh my... Oh. That's going to be the 1v1 zone with Geralt and Skiz. The isolated Q not quite going to hit. Is this one, though? Yes, it is. The tidal wave, not enough. Not out of the death realm early enough. And it does look like they are going to push this lead extremely far. They might get inhib here.
They've got the Infernal Soul online. They've also got a Tristana that is ready to demolish here, Cowboy. Death timers are coming back in a little bit. Skiz going to be the last one to join the rest of the team. The bot lane now online in a correct position, or correct prediction from my perfect play-by-play there. They're able to pick up the inhibitor and now rotate out. They've got themselves a much greater gold lead in. And just like that, Cowboy, with the blink of an eye, after two fights going the way of Divine Ascension, they've got themselves a gold lead. But once again, someone gets caught out.
Oh my gosh. Tay getting a little greedy there, and it does look like the Rubies are gonna have to leave. There's no way they can take this Baron without Tay.
Is on the bottom side of the map. He's moving up now. Does have teleport. He's gonna use it here.
Jay's doing so much damage. Fitz so much. Peekaboo taking so much. He just used the impale, I believe. Epps, he's going to fall here. Mr. Montgomery is going to die to the Syndra ult. Silly Goose! Look at that damage. It's not going to be enough, though. The ult coming out a little bit too late. Skiz, is he going to be able to pick up the kill on a JDK? He is not. Oh, the nice shield is going to save his life. And that's going to be potentially Baron. Actually, it is going to be Baron for the side of the Wolves. No, just when I was losing hope.
Yeah, absolutely, Cowboy. Your Wolves pull it back. They get a solid pick. They've constantly done this throughout this entire game. Peekaboo, just where you don't expect him, catching Divine Ascension everywhere on the map. Was able to flash there, get onto Tane without that poke, without that much needed damage. It was a lot more of a challenging fight for Divine Ascension Ruby to try to handle, and now you're gonna have a lot of gold funneled into the Wolves because of this inhibitor. In Divine Ascension Ruby, not in a position anymore to really do anything with those super minions unless they potentially get an ace. They can maybe look for a game end. But nevertheless, you do have Baron buff, temporary, Infernal Soul. That's going to be lasting a little bit longer, but what it could do for Legendary Wolves is set themselves up for a really beautiful Elder Drake take, which could ice the game against Divine Ascension Ruby. We see Peekaboo looking...
Oh, that's the impale onto Geralt, going into the 1v1 death realm.
He wants Peekaboo. What's everyone else going to do?
He wants Peekaboo. The Call of the Forge God is going to be coming out with Tidal Wave as well. Neither are going to hit. Never mind. The Call of the Forge God is going to hit. Wait, are they? Did they both hit, Jay?
I think so. I think
they
he's
did.
only one.
I saw the Imperial Man. What?
Watch Tay here. Beautiful positioning.
Oh, that was very nice. I liked that Mikhail's there, I think it is. Is that what the item's called? Yes. Mikhail's Blessing to cleanse that sleep and give him a nice heal.
Yeah, and Legendary Wolves, I think, rightfully backing off. They don't have any other waves in the side lanes going in their favor. They don't have also a lot of solid split push threat EPs without teleport. I think you do want your tanks with the rest of the team in order to try to sustain through the insane amount of poke that's coming out of Tay and McGumfries. They have to back off there because they can't really rotate to any of the other lanes. They're just going to have to try to set up for the remainder of this Baron buff. Elder Drake going to be online in about 90 seconds here. Everyone pretty similar in items, especially Epic Fail Guy really far ahead. Look at the damage. We may get a fight here now.
Damage. Geralt is going to go forward following that Nature's Grasp. Look at all of that damage. That's going to be the Impale as well. Peekaboo is going to be taken out alongside Mr. McGumfrey. So much damage coming out from that tank there. Epic Fail Guy ulting is a little bit too deep there. The double knockup's going to be nice. The Fitz going to hit the double bubble. Died mid-air, Silly Goose did. Geralt, oh, he's like 1 HP. How is Epps alive? He's literally like 7 HP. There he goes. Double kill for Tay. Make it a triple. And that's the ace for the Rubies.
Wow. What a fight there from the Zoe. Tay, the last man standing. He's just having fun. He's not going to be able to go into the base at all. Elder Drake going to be spawning in 40 seconds. I think we might have a rinse and repeat fight here coming up, Cowboy. Let's see. Tay's going to be able to secure the Scuttle Crab. Peekaboo's going to be trying to run to this objective as quickly as possible. Both teams just left to try to reset Tay. I really think needs to get a back off quickly before the Drake spawns.
I completely disagree with that. I think him taking the blue buff and waiting for the team is the right play. There's no way he'll get back there in time. Not as a Zoe.
Hey man, Zoe's pretty fast. You maybe, I don't know.
He has small legs. He can't move fast.
Well, the dragon has arrived here. Tay gonna be trying to defend it.
Ooh. The Nature's Grasp being wasted. That's not what you like to see. You want to know what's not wasted? That's sleep. Is that going to be the Mikhails? No, it's not. Nothing quite going to connect. Those look like we're going to come for rounds 2. We do got the Fnatic Bush coming up. That's going to be the catch. Peekaboo and Epps in a really bad situation. The Drowsies sleep. Ooh, Epps in a very tough spot, but he is going to make it out alive.
Beautiful QSS there from Silly Goose. That's a big cooldown used there for Legendary Wolves. Let's see, Skiz and Epic Fail Guy. These are the players that need to step up big in this fight. They're the carries. Let's see what they can do.
Everyone's just doing the sombrero. That's the Call of the Forge God coming out. Who's it going to hit? That's going to connect onto McGumfries. Epps is just getting absolutely melted. Peekaboo is going along with him. Double kill for Silly Goose, and that's going to directly go into Elder, and that is most likely going to be the end of the game.
Hey, gonna try
Unless-
to defend it, and another Nature's Grass coming out. What is the cooldown
Whoa.
on that ultimate?
That's a great question. You know, it's 55 seconds. That did not feel like a minute, but you know? Okay, sure, why not?
And that's the big
Elder Dragon
Drake.
for the side of the rubies. My hope is gone. Wolves, you failed me. You are now cursed. Not
Hey,
by
there's
like
always-
caster curse, by me. It's personal now. I'm kidding.
Cowboy curse.
The cowboy curse, exactly.
We
So they're gonna turn that into the inhib. They're gonna push up these waves. They could honestly tank the turret if they wanted. And that's gonna be the end of the game.
Epic Fail Guy
GG.
gonna try to
Oh.
defend. Silly Goose, so much damage. The Nexus exposed.
Oh. Well, the wolves fall in this first game. Idea, if you say literally anything during analysis, I am going to beat the ever-loving crap out of you. This is a threat. It's completely personal. Yeah, I see you. Zanya'd for wolves. Lol. Yeah, shut up. Anyways, game's over. We're gonna have to toss this to the analysts. I really don't want to because Idea's just gonna make fun of me. But I mean, okay, I guess. So, let's toss it back over to the analyst desk.
All right. Well, things are rolling. Gungeon. And Divine Ascension Ruby gonna come out here on top. Was kind of a rough game for them to kind of start up. I mean, Legendary Wolves played a very, very, very good game. They were able to secure a lot of picks, but in the end, in that last fight over Elder, Mordekaiser did his job. He ulted that Skarner and was able to remove the threat. And honestly, the poking power that was coming out from the Divine Ascension Ruby squad was just a little too much for the Legendary Wolves to kind of deal with. Unfortunately, the Skarner and the Ornn were not able to block enough of those bubbles, and health bars were just too low.
We talked about it. Tay put his team on his back over and over again in this team fight, just landing crucial bubble after crucial bubble. The amount of damage he was getting off as Zoe, it felt absolutely monstrous because, again, in a lot of these fights, DAR had the lead. And again, there were times when it felt like they had full control when they were up 3 dragons to 1. But again, you would have situations like Tay getting caught out, Silly Goose getting caught out by the Skarner ultis, and it felt like